This is a great question. So laxatives will work by irritating the bowel and make it move stuff through, but it hasn't got a magic switch on it, so it starts irritating the system once it gets to the bowel. It irritates all the way through the digestive system, so it irritates the stomach, and then when it gets into the small intestine, we've got lots of tiny little hairs called villi, which is where we actually absorb our nutrition, and those get irritated by the laxative as well. So they will then sometimes go down because they're irritated, and they won't always come back up again, which means that you're reducing your area for absorbing all your nutrition. It's not going to happen if you use laxatives once or twice, but if you're somebody who uses laxatives a lot, there's a good chance that's going to happen. So when the laxative goes into the bowel, it irritates the bowel, and the bowel will start spasming, hopefully, which is why it's uncomfortable if you're a bit full, because it's trying to spasm against hard stuff, which is why it hurts. And then it can't move that hard stuff through. So what it does is any new stuff that's coming in that's going to be a bit more watery will come around the edges of the bowel and come out. And that's why when you have laxatives, very often it's very watery. So it's actually taking the water out of the bowel that we need to stay in the bowel to soak into all the hard stuff to help move it through. So it's very unusual for people that have got really bad constipation to get better through laxatives. It doesn't happen if you've had constipation for a long time. I've never seen it. So if you're very slightly constipated, yes, they can definitely be a help. Nothing wrong with them at all. But for somebody who's very compacted, not great. With a colonic, what we're doing is we're putting water into the bowel and we're softening the poo, and then we're bringing it out. And you'll have seen from my videos that sometimes you'll see videos that are poo that's dissolved, and sometimes it'll be hard chunks that are coming through, but all of it is coming through. So we're clearing the bowel. Whereas with laxatives, it'll just get out what it can, and it'll be the softest bits, and the hard stuff will just stay there. So a colonic will take more out, basically. I personally don't like putting anything into the bowel which is going to irritate it. So that's why I don't like laxatives. But generally, you know, for somebody who's just slightly constipated, they're not a bad idea. You know, sometimes if you're on medication, particularly pain medication, cancer patients, laxatives are a great idea because they just help the bowel to keep moving. But generally, as a lifestyle choice, no, they're not my favourite because of the issues with the digestive system. So I hope that helps as to, I mean, they do both remove rubbish, but I don't think laxatives are as efficient as a colonic. And the colonic just does more, basically, and it's gentler on the system. I hope that helps. Long answer, I'm sorry, but it's a great question. Love it. Thanks very much.